So last December, I got my hands on this thing here. This is a Martini Henry 577-450 chamber adapter for 45 long colt. It's a pretty simple concept. It allows you to shoot a smaller cartridge, in this case a pistol cartridge, out of your gun by basically putting it in the adapter, which is the shape of the parent cartridge. Again, it's kind of a way to trick your rifle. Now, why would someone want something like this? In the case of the Martini Henry, it's not a cheap cartridge to shoot by any means, and 45 long colt is considerably cheaper to afford, at least for, well, before the pandemic. They don't even commercially make or manufacture 577-450 anymore. There are people that mostly do home reloads, and there are some like smaller groups that collectively make 577-450 just for recreational purposes. It sounds pretty useful, at least with these adapters, and it's kind of an intriguing gadget regardless. So I saw this chamber adapter for sale from Shooter's Box and decided to grab one for myself. Maybe it'll be a fun way to shoot my Martini Henry without worrying about paying for a ton of money or having to reload. Also, I just thought it would make a fun video to actually buy one of these and just kind of experiment. Well, in the months I've been waiting for there to actually be 45 long colt come onto the market, I saw a few other people post about these, and several things caught my attention right away. First, several people were talking about how it did shoot, but the 45 long colt was just too small to properly engage with the rifling, so it was barely good for even plinking. Even at short distances, I'm thinking like 25, 50 yards. A Martini Henry cartridge has obviously a pretty big caboose behind it compared to, a pistol cartridge, which is going to be much smaller. The bullet diameter of a Martini Henry is 0.455 inches, and the diameter for a 45 long colt is 0.452 inches, so it's going to be slightly smaller. You can see why, you're not really going to get much in the way of accuracy out of it shooting through one of these adapters. Still, the Martini Henry is a fun action. I mean, just watching an empty shell come out of the receiver is a pretty cool thing to watch. So even if I was just going to be plinking for a few minutes, shooting a few rounds through it, it's still kind of just, like I said, an intriguing gadget. Why not pick one up if they're only like 50 bucks? Secondly, I saw a video posted to YouTube from another YouTube channel, the Redneck Preppy, about his experience with one of these adapters. I think he got his back in February or made his video about these adapters back in February, which I'll post in the description below. But he actually had his that he shot actually had a split down the middle all the way from the neck all the way down to the base after I think he said about 8 rounds. Now his was actually an adapter for a 45 ACP, which is a little bit different from 45 long colt. Apart from being a rimmed cartridge, long colt is usually manufactured for cowboy action shooting, and a lot of it out there is made with lighter loads than modern 45 ACP because people shoot them out of old pistols meant for black powder cartridges. So having higher pressures likely contributed to a chamber failure or a chamber splitting like his. That extra energy has to go somewhere, and if that chamber adapter isn't 100% flush with the chamber, then it's going to expand, and in that case, break. Unlike brass and other alloys don't really fire form to your chamber, so that's going to result in a case failure. Also, if 45 ACP isn't that accurate, then 45 long colt is definitely going to suck. Additionally, while this adapter fits into my Martini Henry Mark II, it won't chamber in my Martini Henry Mark IV, so it's kind of useless right off the bat if it only works for one of your rifles. And it's not even guaranteed to fit your rifle at all because there's varying chamber sizes that are off by just a little bit, but it does make a difference when you're trying to put one of these adapters in. So it's not a guaranteed fit. Now, does this mean I won't try shooting this 1 or 2 times in the future? I'm really not sure. I'll hold on to it at least for now as a curiosity. I'm not sure I want to ruin the chamber of a very old and irreplaceable rifle just for an experiment that could easily break something I spent money on, or even worse, destroy the chamber of a rifle. So I will not be using this anytime soon out of a concern for the value of my gun and my own personal safety. I just wanted to do this short talk on why I'm holding off on it. If you have used these chamber adapters in the past, I'd love to hear about your experiences with them. If you've had good luck, or if you've experienced something similar to what the Redneck Preppy did, where it split after about 8 rounds. But I'll go ahead and see you guys later. Again, check out the Redneck Preppy video. It's pretty informative, I think, on this issue, but I'll leave it at that, and thanks for watching, guys.